So I got some stuff to do to the boat today, so I thought maybe it'd be a good time for me to do an introduction on the boat with you guys. I'm going to do a walkthrough, and let's go down here to the boat and check some things out. So the other day I posted a picture of our boat on Facebook and got a couple nice comments about that. We appreciate it. And as you know, Laurie and I moved down here to the Keys about 6 weeks ago. I guess this is our 7th week now. We're down here. We don't know if we're going to stay here permanently or not, but we're giving it a shot. Laurie is teaching 3rd grade over at the elementary school here. I went through my captain's license training and waiting my paperwork back from the Coast Guard now. So hopefully we're going to do some tours and charters and things like that. We're just kind of living the Keys life for a little while. Anyway, I posted some picture of our boat online, and I got an email from a friend of mine wanting to know what the equipment was on the boat, specifically the big rods that stick up off the top of the boat. They're called outriggers. And so I thought it might be neat if I did a boat walkthrough and show you guys the boat and tell you what things do, what we like about it. So hang tight and we'll run through that. So our boat is a 2006 ProSports ProKat. And it's called a ProKat because it's a catamaran boat. It's not a monohull boat, meaning that it actually has, up here in the front, it actually has 2 hulls. And I'll see if I can get a shot of that here in a minute and show you guys what that looks like. But basically it has 2 hulls instead of 1. They're long and thin instead of just 1 big hull up underneath. It helps with the ride of the boat a lot, but it does a lot of other things, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But anyway, it's an 06 ProSports. I think these were made in Alabama, and has twin Yamaha 150 4-strokes on it. Kind of walk around here and let you guys take a look. The boat was in pretty good condition. It's a fairly clean boat for its age. We liked it when we first saw it. We actually had our eye on a different one when we came down here, and it actually had a trailer. We don't have a trailer for this one, and so I've got to buy a trailer at some point. But kind of wish I could have got that other one. It was the same year, same model, same everything, had a little bit better electronics on it. I messed around a little bit too long with the negotiating with the guy, and he ended up selling it. So I guess I learned a lesson there. I should have just bought it. Could have got it for the same money as I got this one for with a trailer. But you live and you learn. So walking up towards the console of the boat, that is a Garmin 10-inch, I believe. Yeah, 10-inch. It's an older unit. I think it's probably from somewhere around 06 or 08. I didn't want to put a lot of money in electronics on this boat right now, like our last boat that we had, just because we don't know how long we're going to be down here. This Garmin will do fine. It's 10-inch screen. It's got GPS and sonar. It works just fine for what we need down here right now. Twin motor controls. Another thing that's really cool about this boat, again with the motors being so far apart in the back, with twin motors you can spin this boat really easy on its axis. The further apart the motors are in the back, the easier it is to spin the boat around side to side. I find this boat super easy to maneuver around the dock especially. Let's go back up towards the front up here. So big fish lockers in the floor down here. You can see those there. And then up towards the front up here, it's a nice area for people to lay out. Laurie got up there on the front deck right up there, and she's able to lay all the way across that way, so there's plenty of room. Lots of seating up here. She can kind of see lots of areas to sit up there. I carry that big cooler right there out here for when we go fishing. Put the fish in it. I'd rather use that than I would the fish boxes anyway. Holds the ice better. Big locker right here. Let's see if I can get this thing up. Huge storage locker up here. Plenty of room to keep bunches of stuff up in the front up here, so it's got lots of storage on it. Under this cushion right down here, there's another cooler and or storage locker down there. So lots of seating in this boat. It's great for fishing, but it's also a really fun just cruising around, sandbarring, hanging out. It's a lot of fun for the family. So up here above the dash of the boat, up top right here, I've got my electronics box up here, and this holds all of my, got my stereo up there. That was just a little cheap head unit that was in it, a little cheap amp sitting there, and then I've got my VHF radio right there, so if we need to talk to someone, Coast Guard, or have an emergency, we've got VHF radio that we can call on. But this thing closes up, seals up, and seems to be pretty watertight so far, which is unusual for those. Up here on the dash, you can see I've got our compass, so we can kind of keep up with where we are in case of an emergency. Little glove box here to put stuff in, and so it's a pretty handy layout for a fairly small boat. This is not a really large boat for the Keys at all. So now I'm in the back of the boat, getting a little shot of that. There's my buddy Gage over there. He follows me down to the dock every time I come down here. Anyway, we're in the back of the boat, and I'm just going to kind of pan around here so you can kind of see how the boat's laid out. This is a big live well area right here. Let me see if I can get my camera turned down where you guys can see it. It's got this door that raises up and down. I think that's a 45-gallon live well. Pretty good size live well in this thing. I could keep a lot of bait alive in that. Anyway, the cockpit in the back, this back area, really well laid out. It's a great boat for diving. It's got this huge, where you walk between the motors back here, the boarding ladder. And actually, I've left my boarding ladder in the water this morning. Let me get that in. Shouldn't be leaving that out like that. I knocked it in the water this morning when I was lubing up the engines. That makes for real easy getting on and off the boat. So back here in the back, you got these little pads right here, and you see these two brackets right here. Those are for a jump seat that goes right here. They're underneath the console right now. I keep them out because we lean against this when we're fishing. We got another seat that goes right here, just one person. There's one on each side. So you can ride people back here in the back if you need some more seating. But that's a pretty handy little feature on this boat, kind of like that. Got some rod lockers along the side right here. I've just got some tools in there right now, but it's got another set up here. Stow some rods in there. I think on the boat altogether I've got 9 rod holders altogether, so that generally does what I need. I'd like to add some more up here along these poles right here going up. I'd like to put some up here where I got a little bit better. You can see these rod holders up top right here. So I've got 5 up there, and I'd like to add some more along this rail up here. So I can get some more rod holders in there, so I think I'll add that on at some point. It's got some storage here under the console. This is right underneath the seat. I can hold 3 Plano boxes down there. There's one on each side of the console. This hose that you see sticking out right here, that is my raw water wash down. So that pumps salt water through that hose, and I can wash down the back of the boat. Also got a freshwater wash down right here. That's for, washing your hands up or whatever, or if you, when you get in the water down here snorkeling, you get out and the salt dries on you. It feels gritty and it starts to itch. So we use this as a little shower that's got 20 gallons of fresh water in it. So underneath the console, it's got a little area to keep your life jackets and things that you need in there. You can see we got a bunch of junk in there, basically safety gear and ropes and things like that. The helm seats on this boat, they go in a leaning position, so you can lean up against them when you're driving right there, or you can flip them down like that, and then they act more like seats. So this thing up on the front of the boat here, this is called a windlass, and you can see my anchor chain going into there. But this little wheel spins around. It's basically a winch, and just keeps you from having to pull this chain up out of the water. And I'm telling you what, there's only about 20 feet of chain, but there's 300 feet of rope. And you get that anchor out there in 100 feet of water or so, and have to pull in a couple 100 feet of anchor rope, and then that anchor and chain and everything. You better have some guns on you and be in good shape. All the rope piles up in this down here in the bottom underneath it, and it pulls everything in for you automatically. So these big poles up on the top of my boat everybody keeps asking me about, those are called outriggers, and if I can follow this up, I don't know if I can or not, I'll try. You can see them a little bit up there, go way up high. My camera's not wanting to turn up there. Let's see. There we go. These are 18 feet long. They turn on this base right here. You lift that gray collar up, or actually push it down, and these will tilt down. And then underneath here, these handles right here, you can see they have notches in them. And if I turn that handle up and out to this notch, swings the whole outrigger out to the side. And I'll set that up and then show you how that works. All right, so I've got the outriggers out on the edge of the boat here, and I've got them protruding out. So let me show you how these are what they look like when they're actually set up. And you can see them sticking out the side of the boat. Let me get you another shot of that. Get way back here so you can see how far out these things protrude. So they're 18 feet long, go way out there to the edge, and if you look right here, this thing right here is called a release clip. That release clip holds your line, and then I take this and I slide that out towards there, all the way out to the end, go all the way out to the end out there, and it takes my line out there. So basically, here's my pole, and it's going to go in a rod holder back here, like this. And then I bring my line back, hooking in this clip, like this. And then I take this all the way out to the end of the line out there. And then my bait will go back in the water, back that way. And when a fish hits it, that clip will release and the bait will release, and then I got him on the line back there where I can reel him in. So one of the questions I get a lot when we come down here fishing in the Keys is how much fuel do you burn? Well, this boat holds 200 gallons of fuel. I've got a 100-gallon tank on each side of the boat. If you buy fuel down here on the water, which is pretty much what you end up doing one way or the other, because it's not easy to get the boat out of the water and take it up to the gas pump. We have to fuel up on the water down here, and it runs generally $1 to $1.25 more on the water than it would be if we went to the fuel pump on land. So anyway, to give you an idea, right now gas in the Keys we're getting gas for $3.79 on the water. If this one were empty and I had to fill it up, I'm looking at about $750 to fill it up. How fast do I burn that? Well, this boat, I'd like to say I got 2 miles per gallon, and I'm close. But on average, with speeding up, slowing down, and all the running around and stuff like that you do, I think I'm getting about 1.7, which for a boat this size is not that bad. 2 would be great. On this boat, as an example, if we run out, let's say we run out to the Marathon hump, that's 25 miles from here, offshore. So if we run out to the hump, 25 out, 25 back, 50 miles, we get, let's call it 2 just for easy math. If we get 2 miles per gallon, you know, we're looking at burning $25 in fuel. So that trip, 25 times $3.79 a gallon, it's not cheap. Just about everything we do down here on the boat, that's the main expense, is the fuel. Hope you enjoyed the tour of the boat. Hope you learned a little bit about the Keys, and see you on the next video.